So you just bought a new construction house, you have a new construction loan. Today we're going to talk about the 5 problems that you're definitely going to run into, so stay tuned and we'll go through them. What's up YouTube? What's up YouTube? Dude, it's Shane Heath here and I'm back again with another video. First off, if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name's Shane Heath. I'm just an average guy who spends way too much time in my yard and way too much time in my vehicles, my garage, things like that. So if any of that interests you, make sure you hit subscribe below and stay tuned for the rest of this video because we're going to talk about how I took my new construction loan that was bare dirt like this, and I took it and turned it into what I have now, which is a backyard full of zoysia, and I have Bermuda everywhere else. And now, as you can see, we got a little bit of rain. The yard is green back up nice. Go back to my last video, you'll see that we had dried out. My yard was pretty much going back into dormancy, and now we're finally getting a little bit more color back into it, so that rain has helped us. There's just something about getting that natural rainfall that really helps the grass jump. I don't think your irrigation could ever come close to what natural rain will do for your yard. And with all that said, let's jump right into the first problem you're gonna run into. First major issue you're gonna notice is you're probably not gonna have any topsoil left. Your builder or developer has probably scraped all the topsoil off of whatever land they developed and they've probably sold it. So you're gonna be left with just bare dirt, the subsoil that was left, rocks, clay. It's gonna be brutal starting out. So all that topsoil is gone. What can you do about it? Well, if you're made of money, you can have topsoil hauled back in. You can buy your topsoil basically back. Have truckloads brought in and put it back over your yard. That will solve your first issue. Second thing you can do is you can use things like humic 12 and you can add more carbon back into your soil. And you're gonna wanna use a power rake or a tiller, and you wanna be able to get all that soil kind of loosened up a little bit, mix those products in and get as many rocks and debris out as you can. Which leads me to the next issue you're gonna run into. All right, so the next issue you're gonna run into is rocks. There's gonna be a ton of rocks. For the first probably 2 months I lived in this house, all I did was rake and haul rocks with wheelbarrows. Wheelbarrow loads of rocks. I mean, they're everywhere. I'll show you over here what it looks like where I haven't raked up, and that's exactly what my entire yard looked like. It's gonna be work to get all that cleaned up, so if you have the money and I could go back and do it over again, I would rent a power rake and I would try to clean up as much as I could with that before I come out here manual power and try to rake it up by hand. So if we come back here to the far corner up against the fence, this area hasn't had as much love as the rest of my yard. I'm gonna show you, this is what it looked like everywhere. I spent forever trying to get this cleaned up. And that's something you can definitely look forward to with a new construction loan. Third issue you're gonna run into kind of goes along with this last one. There's gonna be a lot of debris in your yard. When I was doing my yard, I found full 2x4s, 8-foot 2x4s buried under the surface of the soil where you could barely see it till you came across it with the tiller. I found pieces of siding. There were 6-foot pieces of siding in the yard and a bunch of 2- and 3-foot pieces everywhere. Where all they did was when they finished this house, they came through with a bobcat and they just leveled it out the best they could. They picked up what they saw and they left everything else for us to deal with. And there's also gonna be nails everywhere. Where they built the house, they're just gonna let stuff fall off, and they're gonna pick up some, but you're gonna have to come back and do a lot of that work yourself. So I suggest you get a magnet and roll around and get as many nails up out of the yard before you start doing anything else. And now if you're involved in the process of building your house and you're there and on site, you can really make sure a lot of this doesn't happen to you. You can keep an eye on your contractor and you can keep the things cleaned up and you can keep them from leaving you in a mess like people who come and buy a house right after it's built and it's just new construction but they buy it. But for the people that are just walking into a house and they weren't there for the building process, there's gonna be some work cut out for you.
Ain't nothing to it but to do it.
And now for the next issue, we're gonna go up front here and we're gonna look at the sod that they laid down. Now the landscaper that was with my contractor done this, but it was very poorly done. They rushed it, they didn't put any time into prepping it before they put it down. So I'm gonna show you what's just under the surface of my sod and why I have problems with keeping this wet. I have a lot of hot spots, and it's because it's full of debris under it. And it looks like they laid my sod right dead onto a gravel driveway. I'm pretty sure because it's just to the left of my driveway where I have my trouble spot there. Pretty sure that's probably where they dumped the rocks for the footings and maybe they were driving and parking on it, and it's literally nothing but a 2-inch layer of rocks under that part of the sod. And the only thing I can think of to fix it is to tear that part up, get rid of the rocks, get some topsoil down, and then try to sod it back in and fill it back in, or it's always going to be an issue for me. These are the little things that you're going to have to look forward to even if you get sod on your new construction home, if you aren't there to pay attention to the process. Which is why I made this video, so hopefully I can help somebody along the way not run into the troubles that I did, and maybe they can catch it as it's going along. All right, I'm back. I had to run to Home Depot and get some lime for the next video you're going to be seeing. So we've talked about your topsoil is gone, you're going to have a ton of rocks, you're going to have a lot of building material left over. Whatever job the contractors did for your landscaping is going to be poor. You're going to run into a major issue when it comes to what they did get down, they cut corners on. The next thing you're going to run into is you're probably going to have more straw than you actually have grass in your yard. You're going to see they're going to straw the crap out of whatever seed they do put down, and the good chances are they're going to put down like a contractor's mix, which is going to have more of your winter rye, annual ryegrass type thing in it, and it'll be nice and green in the fall, but come summer all your grass is going to die in your yard. That's what you're going to experience. You're going to be like, oh, we moved in the fall, The yard was beautiful. Come summertime, it was completely dead. I don't know what happened. Well, what happened is they gave you a crappy seed that's not gonna make it through wherever you live, especially if you're in the southern part of the United States where it should be warm season grass like Bermuda. They gave you a contractor's mix and it's more than likely gonna die as soon as it gets hot in the summertime. So it's another video. I'm back here cooking. So basically, if you're like me, I couldn't afford to sod my entire yard. This is 10,000 square feet back here. So my option was to seed it. So I found the only zoysia I could get from seed, which was Zenith zoysia. And I've also seeded some Bermuda. Now, I will say it does take more work to seed a warm season grass than it does to put sod or plugs down. So if you can afford the sod, go that route. So now if you're seeding, you're gonna wanna do this in the springtime. If you're seeding warm season grass, you need to seed it in the spring. So going from spring into summer is when your grass grows the most if you have warm season grass. Now, everybody says, oh, I'll wait and I'll seed it in the fall. That's for cool season grass. That's not for us. You know, Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee, down. We are warm season grass people, most of us. You're gonna see Bermuda, zoysia, and centipede in about every yard. So now you're not gonna wanna seed in the fall because you wanna establish a good plant and go through the peak of your growing season before you start hitting frost. So actually, I'll throw a graphic up on the screen right here. So if you see here, if you're in the transition zone or in the warm season grass zone, you need to seed in the spring if you're gonna do it. Seeding in the fall is for cool season grass. That is something that people down here just don't understand.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I've ran into that one how many times. So if you have a kettle just like this, like I know a few of you do, y'all been commenting in my videos. If you have any tips or secrets that you wanna leave in the comments, feel free. I love getting grilling tips. I'm one of those people that likes messing around with grilling too. But we'll get back talking about grass right now. So basically, if you're just moving into a new construction lawn and you got a bare dirt backyard or it's covered in straw and you wanna take it to something like this, it's gonna take some work from me. I worked my butt off in this yard for about 2 summers before I got to the point where it is now. I've shown a little bit of that progress in some of my videos. And also, your next thing, a rake is gonna be your best friend. You're constantly gonna be raking, you're constantly gonna get rocks up. It's gonna be like a never-ending cycle until finally you get enough grass to cover it. All right, so dinner's ready, so I'm gonna get in here and eat. I'm starving, I've been working too hard today, I got an appetite. So I'm actually gonna pick this video up tomorrow morning, and I'll catch you then. All right, here we are next morning. And now I've just finished my coffee, so I'm coming out here and it looks like it's a little bit of a drizzle today, which is good because that brings me to my point I'm gonna talk about today, and that is watering. When you first move into your house or when you're first dealing with your new construction loan, you better be prepared to be running some sprinklers around. If you don't have irrigation, that is. You're gonna be dealing with running hoses and sprinklers pretty much nonstop as you try to establish that loan. Whether you start from seed or sod, you're gonna be watering the snot out of it, trying to get it to take hold and keep it from drying out. I'm actually glad that it's raining today because this will help me out of my watering bill. And anytime I can cut down my watering bill, it saves me some hassle of having to run my irrigation, and also saves the wife from getting a little bit upset when she opens it. And I think we all see that every now and then. And now me, I personally made these DIY irrigation stands here where I put in-ground irrigation heads on them. I got a video I'll link up in the eye above, whichever side it is, so you can see that. I use these because I don't have irrigation yet. That's a goal of mine for maybe not this loan, but at least the next loan. I will have irrigation before I start doing anything. Now also, I'm not going to be selfish on this channel. If there's another video out there or somebody else that I think can explain something a little bit better to you, I'm going to show them, or I'm going to send you that way at least. So I'm going to put some videos in the description below. It's going to talk more about watering so you can get a little more prepared for that. Even if you're not in a new construction loan and you're dealing with trying to water your lawn, there's some information in there that you're going to need. So I'll link those below and you can go check them out. Just like with a lot of other things, your lawn, you're going to get out of it what you put into it. Whatever work that you put into your yard, you're going to be rewarded with most of the time. You can't grow a nice lawn sitting on the couch unless you hire somebody to do it. And even then, they're only going to see it maybe once a week. So you're not even going to get the perfect results that you want. If you want that perfect lawn, you got to get up off the couch and you got to make it happen. All right, so it's starting to rain a little bit more and it's kind of cold out here. It's about 52, 53 degrees. I'm going to go in the house where it's warm and dry and hang out. Probably working on editing this video, try to get it out to y'all. So hopefully today you found something that's going to help you in that new construction loan. If you would, hit subscribe, like I said, hit the thumbs up, help us out, and we'll catch you in the next video.